This week's Torah portion, Vayera, contains one of the most troubling, yet one of the most meaningful stories in our Bible, the binding of Isaac, when Abraham takes his son Isaac to sacrifice him. This has understandably stirred up lots of responses throughout history, including a commentary by Woody Allen in one of his books called Without Feathers. In any case, we are right to be disturbed by this idea of a person sacrificing their child. A person who seemingly puts up no protest when God tells him to take his son. This is Abraham, the man who had so much compassion that he argued on behalf of Sodom and Gomorrah's fate so that God would spare this town even though it was filled with corruption. How can a man who looks out for so many other strangers not have an ounce of compassion left for his family, his son? The rabbis tell us that he did. In fact, when God says, take your son, your only son, whom you love, Isaac, it is really part of a two-way conversation. When God says, take your son, Abraham protests, I have two sons, trying to delay what he knows is the inevitable. When God says, your only son, Abraham says, well, this is the only son of his mother, and this is the only son of his mother. Slowing God down even more. And then God says, whom you love. And Abraham says, God, I love them both. And prompting God to finally specify Isaac. There was some protest. But more than that, what we have here is in the commentaries, the rabbis tell us that Abraham did not quite understand God correctly. Indeed, they too cannot believe that this great pillar of our community, Abraham, would do such a thing. They said that he misunderstood God's command. God was really trying to say, take your son and show him the meaning of sacrifice. That's a lesson we need today in our culture. What does it mean to sacrifice when everyone's telling us you don't have to give up anything to get all that you want and need? That's a bad lesson. The rabbis in the end prompt us to think about what is really important to us in life. What is so important that we would be willing to die for? Abraham's story of the binding of Isaac is one that prompts many lessons, many disturbing, but if we wrestle with them long enough, we come to some powerful lessons for life today.